All right, I guess I'm really late to the party, but I was at the grocery store the other day and I happened to come across this thing called Coke with coffee. And I was like, what? That's craziness. So stay tuned. So this video is about Coke with coffee. Go figure. Anyway, as all of you know, there's Coke, right? This is Mexican Coke. Beautiful Mexican Coke with the cane sugar and none of that HFCS, high fructose corn syrup nonsense. Then there's my favorite, Diet Coke. Diet Coke is what I drink a lot of nowadays because you know what? Maybe trying to slim down a little bit, right? And lots of sugar and no sugar is probably a little bit better, but not really. Anyway, so I'm at the grocery store and I find this thing called Coke with coffee. And I was like, that's some crazy stuff. But I'm gonna give it a try because you know what? I make YouTube videos, so this will be a video. So this is it. Coke with coffee, 0 sugar. So this is the non-sugar diet version of this coffee and Coke thing, dark blend. It says dark blend right there, okay? And I've got it in the ice, so it's super cold the way that Coke should be. You know, like Coke, when it's really cold and it burns as it goes down? That's Coke, I love that. Then there's this thing called Coke with coffee, but with caramel, right? Now this one has regular sugar, so it's probably really dangerous. There is a third version called Coke with coffee vanilla, but I couldn't find it. It was sold out. Maybe it's really well selling, so people buy it all the way out. But let's get a little bit of details about what this product really is. So the slogan that Coca-Cola came up for was sips like coffee, finishes like Coke. No, that's not right. Sips like Coke, finishes like coffee. I don't really know what that means, but you know, maybe it has that crispy burn and then smoothness, bitterness, horrible death with like commercialized coffee. I don't know. We're gonna find out. But there are 3 flavors. There's dark roast, caramel, and vanilla. So the only sugar-free versions are the dark roast and the vanilla. And the regular version is sweetened with both high fructose corn syrup and sucralose. Why they did both, I don't know, but they charge more, so that's probably part of it. So here's the thing, a lot of people like to drink coffee. More people like to drink Coke. I know I like to drink Coke more than coffee. But what happens when you marry the two? You have Coke, you have coffee, and now the Coke with coffee has 69 milligrams of caffeine per 12-ounce cup, serving bottle, which is 5.75 milligrams per ounce, and that's double the amount that Coke normally has, right? So you're talking 2 times the amount of caffeine in a serving than this, right? However, it's still a lot less than coffee itself. The average coffee that we serve here at Spro is about 130 milligrams per 12-ounce serving? Is that right? More or less, more or less. But that's enough talking about all of that. Let's get into the tasting because really that's all that matters. So first up, we're gonna do the Coke with coffee dark blend. I don't know why they want dark blend. It kind of scares me because, you know, commercial coffees, dark blends, you're usually using really poor quality coffee and it's really terrible and just unpleasant. All right, nice and cold. And I've got the proper glass, right? The Coca-Cola glass, as it should be. This is the way. All right, there it is. Coke. You can kind of smell the coffee and the aromatics as I'm pouring it. And it's not, to my nose, that coffee darkness is not reassuring. But let's get into it. Oh. Wow. All right, so it starts off with that phosphoric acid kind of sizzle on your tongue. And then it gives you that coffee, like, so imagine this is your tongue. And imagine that this is the Coke that is coming on and you're getting this phosphoric acid sizzle, which if you're a Coke lover, this is very pleasant, right? And then it hits you with that coffee darkness, that bitterness that is, it's quite literally like Darth Vader and a fleet of Star Destroyers coming over the horizon. And if you're a Rebel Alliance kind of person or just a regular person of the Old Republic, you can imagine the horror that you'd feel as that shadow of the Star Destroyers came across your landscape. That is kind of how the coffee floats across your palate. So this is your tongue, it's like this, and it's not bad. It's weird. And if you're a coffee person that likes really finer quality coffees, it's not very good. However, if you're a Dunkin' Donuts kind of coffee drinker, or more of the commercialized coffee drinker, when you're used to these darker roasts, these with sharper, bitter characteristics to the coffee that you'd like to add cream and sugar to, you'll like this. This will be very good for you. It's not as bad as I was expecting it to be, or I thought it could be. There's a strange butteriness to it. Maybe even a butteriness effervescence on the nose. There's, it's Coke with this coffee added to it. So it's still predominantly Coke. Like it's a Coke product. It's not like you took coffee and added Coke to it. You added coffee to this, and yeah, there's a buttery sensation. There's caramel notes from the Coke. The acidity from the phosphoric acid is always pleasant because, well, it's Coke. It's reminiscent. It tastes like Coke, but with coffee. This bitterness, heaviness, roastiness of the coffee that's added to it. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm not sure. We'll come back to that. All right, so we tried that one, the dark roast. Now we're gonna do the caramel. This is the caramel. Now remember, this is the caramel that is sweetened with high fructose corn syrup and sucralose, with 70 calories for one can. Oh, well that's why, because this can, which is 12 fluid ounces, so this Coke, for example, 12 ounces, 150 calories. For whatever reason, Coke with coffee uses the sucralose so that they can reduce the amount of calories that you'll be consuming. All right, so here we go. There's still that kind of coffee, but that strong coffeeness that doesn't really have that same effervescence in the caramel version. Oh, weird. Okay, so compared to this one, the phosphoric acid crispiness it doesn't hit the palate in the same way. It's hitting it differently. The darkness, the bitter coffee is kind of masked. It's very subdued in this caramel version. And what it really tastes like is, if you can imagine taking like a Coke, and I don't even know if it would really taste like this Coke, but you take a Coke. Imagine taking a Werther's caramel candy and putting that on your tongue and sucking on it moments before you take your sip, and drinking your Coke while you're sucking on the Werther's. That's what this tastes like. As though you're drinking Werther's with, and there's coffeeness on the palate now. Oh, when you drink the dark blend, after a sip of this, that you can really like, that dark blend comes on like a tour de force. Like, it just comes and we're here on your palate. You're like, it's like, and it's not like, hey, it's right? What are these for? Like, why would you buy this? Like, maybe if you're crazy about coffee, you want to buy this, but if you really like coffee, I don't think you're going to buy this. I don't think you're going to like it. I don't particularly like it. Like, if I want Coke, I want Coke. Or actually more, like, I want Coke. Right? I want the real thing. I don't need it to be covered with coffee or caramel. Like, I don't even like the vanilla and the cherry. I don't want any of that stuff. I want Coke as its natural beauty. Right? So Coca-Cola says that these are for those people that want to have that mid-afternoon, 3 p.m. pick-me-up. So instead of having Coke or coffee, they can have them both together. I remain unconvinced. I would rather have Coke than just this. Yeah, like, give me the real thing, right? What would you eat with this? Like, you know, and when I have coffee, I enjoy things like baked goods, maybe like a tarte tatin or a croissant or something that goes nicely, that balance of sweetness to offset the bitterness and the flavors of the coffee. This, I don't know what I would eat with this. Like, I'm not gonna, like Coke, if I go get a burger and fries, yeah, give me the Coke. Give me the Coke to cut through that fattiness of those fries and burgers. I wouldn't really want to have coffee with that. I don't know if I'd want to have this with that. Like this, at the end of the day, I'm a purist. I like pure Coke and I like pure coffee. So that's what I think about Coke with coffee. And I love coffee, I love Coke. I'm disposed to liking them together. And actually, in the past, we have played with things like that, taking Coca-Cola, pulling shots of espresso in it to see what it is. And, you know, it's fun and enjoyable and it's interesting. I don't want it on a regular basis. I mean, I want it to try out and to learn and to think about how do we pair flavors together, but I don't want those two together. And at $2.65 a can, this is expensive. It's a lot of money. You can buy this can of Coca-Cola, well, you can buy them in 12 packs, right? And depending on where you go and when you go, you can get 4 12 packs for $11. That's ridiculously cheap for these. So ridiculously cheap, $2.65. I think I'll go with the cheaper one. And it's the real thing. All right, so that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you need coffee that's different than this, check out our website, SpurlCoffee.com. We've got great coffees there from all over the world that I source personally from different farmers, and I think you're going to find them very enjoyable. Well, you know. Anyway, if you got any ideas or questions, drop them in the comments below. Be happy to answer them for you. Also, please subscribe. We'd love to have you as a subscriber, and we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers in 2021. And we're going to deliver you more coffee content throughout the remainder of the year, well, and into 2022. Other than that, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate you spending the time with me. Hope to see you next time. Have a great one. Mamma mia.